So in our fifth and final section, now we will continue with the diagnosis and treatment of allergic rhinitis. In this section, we will talk mainly about the diagnosis, complication, and treatment of allergic rhinitis. And in the previous section, we already talked about the pathogenesis, how it develops, what are the different types of allergic rhinitis, and then what are the symptoms and signs of allergic rhinitis. So in this, we will mainly talk about how we diagnose, treat allergic rhinitis, and what are some complications of allergic rhinitis. So classification of allergic rhinitis. The classification of allergic rhinitis, first we do the duration of disease. Intermittent symptoms are present intermittently, or symptoms are present persistently. So two things, if they are intermittent, less than 4 days a week, or for less than 4 weeks. So both duration is important. Intermittent symptoms are present less than 4 weeks, 4 days a week, or less than 4 weeks. If they are persistent, symptoms are present more than 4 days a week or for more than 4 weeks. So both things, more than 4 days or for less than more than 4 weeks, or less than 4 days or less than 4 weeks, they are intermittent or persistent. Next is severity of disease. Severity of disease we divide into mild, moderate, severe. So mild allergic rhinitis, none of the following symptoms are present if it's mild: sleep disturbance, impairment of daily activities, leisure and sport, impairment of school or work, and troublesome symptoms. All these are not present in mild cases. Usually it doesn't impair the normal routine life as it is when it becomes more severe. In moderate to severe, one of or more of the above symptoms are present. So now once it becomes moderate or severe, it is actually affecting the daily life of the person. So the condition gets worse. Investigations of allergic rhinitis, total and differential count, so TLC and DLC. TLC is total count, DLC is differential count. Nasal smear are performed to look for any causative agent or microorganisms. Skin tests. Skin prick test, specific IgE measurements. Radioallergosorbent test. Nasal provocative tests. All these are the different tests performed. Even skin test and skin prick test, these are the tests which are performed that gives the indication that person is allergic to this, and then vaccinations are available nowadays that gives a lot of improvement to the condition of the patient to these different allergic reactions. Complications: recurrent sinusitis, especially if it's chronic or long-lasting condition, it's present for a long time, persistent condition, the complications are more common. So recurrent sinusitis, nasal polyp formation, and otitis media. Also, orthodontic problems are common. Because of the breathing problems, usually the teeth are also affected. So orthodontic problem. And bronchial asthma can also occur as a result of allergic reaction. Treatment is, these are all the different allergens or antigens that can cause allergic rhinitis or allergic reaction. Pollens, very common, but usually this can cause seasonal allergies. Cat, dog, horse, molds, and house dust, mite, all these can cause the perennial type of allergies, and this is present year around unless that cause is removed. If they have a pet cat at home, dog, horse, and this is causing constantly the problems, a removal of these causative factors usually cause improvement in the condition. So treatment is avoidance of allergen. Treatment with the drugs, antihistamines are very effective for these allergies, and also some other drugs can be effective. Immunotherapy can be used for the treatment. Then avoidance of allergen. Most successful if single antigen is involved. So if it's known that the seasonal allergy and pollens are causing the problem, then usually avoidance of going out too much and then putting the face mask can help to avoid to some extent the exposure to the causative agent. Treatment is removal of pet. As I mentioned, this is very important. If it's from some pet, removal of that pet usually can cause avoidance. And encasing pillows or mattress. Change of place of work. If it's due to some chemicals and that chemical, your work environment has those chemicals present, then very important is to change the workplace or work environment, switch the jobs. That can avoid the exposure to allergens. And also allergic food items must be removed. If you know which foods are causing problems, they should be avoided or treatment should be given. Treatment with drugs, we have antihistamines, control rhinorrhoea, sneezing, and nasal itch. Dose and type has to be individualized. Sympathetomimetic drugs, oral or topical. Alpha-adrenergic drugs, combination therapies can also be tried like pseudoephedrine and phenylephrine, and also oxymetazoline and xylometazoline. So different drugs options are available. 100% treatment these cannot usually give the 100% cure, but they are very helpful in symptomatic management of the patient and relieve the condition for some time. If there is sneezing or runny nose, then antihistamines are very effective for those conditions. Some other drugs, steroids can be used, corticosteroids, oral corticoids, like control symptoms of allergic rhinitis, several systemic side effects. Topical steroids, beclomethasone, dipropionate, budesonide, and then also fewer systemic side effects. So steroids are very, very helpful, but they have very bad, serious side effects as compared to topical, which are also applied locally as an ointments or gels. They can cause less serious side effects. Sodium chromoglycate is very important drug as a prophylactic drugs. It can prevent the attacks. It can prevent the degranulation of the mast cells. But sodium chromoglycate is not affected if the attack is also already occurred, then don't use this. It's only used as a prophylactic measure and it prevents the attack. IgE antigen complex formation. 2% solution nasal drops can be used if there is nasal stuffiness and nasal congestions. Some other drugs, again, anticholinergics can be used, leukotriene receptor antagonist, and then anti-IgE can be used to treat allergic rhinitis. Immunotherapy used when drug treatment fails to control symptoms of allergic rhinitis, and when they have too much side effects, then immunotherapy is used. This suppresses the formation of IgE, titer of specific IgG antibody raise. So IgE decreased, IgG start rising. Maintenance dose, subcutaneous immunotherapy, and sublingual therapy can be used. Sublingual under the tongue, subcutaneous is in the fatty tissue. Subcutaneous is the third layer of the skin, which is the fatty tissue, and 45-degree angle is used to inject the medicines subcutaneously. Nasal also can be used in the nose. A step care approach, oral antihistamines or intranasal cromolyn sodium. Intranasal steroids for allergic symptoms. This is the picture of intranasal sprays. Usually one nostril is closed and the medicine is injected in the other, and patient takes a deep breath so medicine can go in. Combination therapy, oral nose sedating, non-sedating antihistamines and intranasal steroids can be used. So both antihistamine and steroids. Oral steroids and immunotherapy. Oral decongestant in nasal obstruction. And avoid allergens and irritants. As we mentioned before, the most important aim should be the avoidance of exposure to the allergens. And if symptoms and signs are present, then we can go to different treatments. Antihistamines and steroids are very effective, but steroids have different side effects, so the treatment should be limited with the steroids, but again, combination treatment can be used to a certain extent. This was all about our section, disorders of the nasal cavity. Thank you for watching sqadia.com.